BoxOfficeGold.net.
Shabam!
Coming to you live and in full effect. From Mike's Garage.
The one and only.
I'm your host, Mike.
I'm your host, Dan.
And what we're doing here is movie reviews.
First stop, Knowledgeville. This week's review, Captain America.
Captain America. Dun 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 dun!
Right?
He's got the shield. He's got the muscles.
He's got that suit that
got
looks
the
like he's some
45.
sort of, right? I mean, he's got the winged things and he's got the tights all the time.
It's a story about a guy who eats his Wheaties and becomes Superman. He eats a combination of Wheaties and spinach.
Wheaties, spinach, and steroids.
Yep. And it gets intravenously injected into his system with money.
It's really, you know, it was titled The True American Dream, but then they changed it to Captain America's. Because the True American Dream is to get blown up with steroids and become someone you're not. What the fuck?
This movie's got some pretty good actors in it. Chris Evans stars as the main character. Now, I don't know, I guess he's okay. I've never been really a fan of him, but
yeah.
Hugo Weaving, I think, is the real gem here.
Oh,
he's in a lot of movies. The Matrix, which was really cool.
Right, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, so
also, he was the Elf
trilogy.
King.
He's on a double trilogy right now.
Did narration in that movie. Also in The Matrix,
yeah.
He also... I don't think he had narration in that movie. Do you remember that?
I don't know.
No.
Now, Stanley Tucci's in this movie. He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He always plays a weirdo.
Yeah. Right? It's very interesting that the two superhero movies centered around Jewish doctors helping them in their moment of need, isn't it? You know?
Dr. Erninsky.
These very thick accented Jewish doctors. You know, I'm not very good at the accents, but...
Now you got Tommy Lee Jones playing the same character he did in The Fugitive. Except this time he's in the military.
This time he's dressed so ridiculous.
Actually, he's kind of like that guy in every movie.
He really is.
Tommy Lee Jones is a badass.
Right?
He's like Grandpa Badass. I mean, the beginning of the movie was kind of crazy. You know, they used the same technology as they used in Benjamin Button.
And they made this real skinny, ridiculous looking...
Twig boy!
Right, I mean, like... It's just absurd, like, right?
He's got every allergy known to man.
Of course, you know, of course he gets the shit kicked out of him by some ridiculously giant bully, you know, and I swear to God, the whole thing shot from a low angle just to make this kid look so tiny. Right. And the problem was, a man's arms are not designed in skinny straight lines. You just can't duplicate a human form. You know, in Benjamin Button, he was all, you know, clothed up.
They plucked the old guy's head off. And then they superimposed Chris Evans' head onto the fucking Benjamin Button body.
He did until he got
until they fucking injected him with steroids.
Right.
And grapefruit juice.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this film. It was interesting in the beginning. It was maybe a little slow. I don't know. I mean, I was interested in it. The character Steve Rogers was introduced, and his friend Bucky Rogers, or Bucky Brewster, or Bucky something. So after that morose, boring introduction, you're finally shot into the scene where he becomes, you know, super soldier. You know, it was well filmed, well shot. The characters were interesting, but, you know, it just left you wanting more.
Whole lot of hype over this shit. I wasn't real satisfied with watching the trailer and then watching the movie. And it wasn't as fucking cool. I guess it was an okay story, if they'd have got it right. I mean, who wants to see Benjamin Button running around there with Chris Evans' head on him?
Right.
Dancing around like some fucking crazy guy. Jumping on grenades and such. You know, weird. Tommy Lee Jones is just as mad as me throughout this whole movie. This was dull.
This movie was not even a movie. This movie was a stepping stone, a building block to build this Avengers movie. Captain America, the First Avenger? That's bullshit. You know what this movie was called in other countries? It was called the First Avenger. Because they fucking hate America. This movie is not about Captain America. This movie could have been called Douchebag Turd McGee, the First Avenger. That's all they needed. And if you go see this movie at the theater, I'm sorry.
Right. Now, to its credit, it did do 360 at the box office.
Right.
That is pretty impressive, but of course it did.
Right.
Everybody thought it was going to be good.
The trailer made it look great.
The Box Office Gold
Crew.
Official ratings for the movie Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And I sound disappointed because I am.
I was as well.
They tried really hard, and I think they succeeded in a lot of areas, but they also kind of failed in a lot of areas. At least my expectations from what I expected out of Captain America. I'm going to come in with a 6 out of 10. You know what I mean? It was, yeah, 6 out of 10.
Right. My rating, it's similar to Mike's in the fashion that it's low, but it's different in the fact that it's lower. It's a first time 5 out of 10 here on Box Office Gold. And I gotta deliver it to you, Captain America. And it's not your fault. You were dealt a raw deal, you know. There was a lot of factors going against you in this movie.
Now, if you haven't seen our other reviews, jump on there. Check us out. We've got a bunch of videos on there now.
Yeah.
Some pretty solid stuff, good reviews. Tron, Limitless is the new one. You know, Kick Ass.
Kick Ass.
I mean, pick a movie. We've done some really good ones.
Yeah, and if you want to see a review, if you want to see something that you don't see, if you want to hear us talk about something that you haven't heard, comment, subscribe, request. We do all those things, and we like to do them.
If you haven't seen the Ice House rap video,
open up your ears.
Fill your mind with his voice. So check us out on youtube.com/BoxOfficeGold. Stop.
Taste too good, but it gets me fucked up. I usually start the night.